I am finally getting started on cleaning up my pond and getting it ready for the summer, and it's a mess. I got my air bubbles going. Finally. I don't know if I can't really see this in the bright sunlight. Yeah, you can see it there a little bit. That's a soaker hose. A garden soaker hose that I've got weighted down and laying on the bottom. And I got, instead of an air stone, because the air stones don't last too long, they get clogged up with algae and mud and sediment, and they don't last too long. So the soaker hoses are cheap, readily available. You just got to get in the water to do it. But that's all right. We swim here all summer. But look at this algae. It's terrible. I haven't had string algae this bad in years. I don't know why. I decided I better go home and get a camera, come back. I mean, I live just across the street. This is a big old huge mass of algae that I pulled out with a rake. I was gathering it all up and dragging it with a rake. I'm going to set the camera up and show. I've already done all of this side on my left and all the way back to that corner. You can see a bunch of it over there that's still there. Then I came over here and started pulling that back over that way. You can see a bunch of it in the water there that surfaced again after I did this. I can't put any algae treatment in the water when I have this much mass of string algae. You have to gather this stuff up out of there first. I'm going to get some video of me doing that. I can put some copper sulfate in here and kill the algae, but it'll make my fish drown. It'll kill the fish because it robs all the oxygen out of the water with this stuff rotting and falling to the bottom, and it's just too much. So the only way to do it is to gather it up physically, get as much out as you can, and then just treat one section of the pond at a time, and the fish will head over to the other side until the first side that you treated starts balancing out and cleaning up again. And you just have to keep going around. In a pond this size, it's 65 feet across, 35 feet across in the middle, so it's roughly, I don't know, it's a couple hundred feet around it, with all these little areas going around it. Yeah, it's probably 200 feet around. I'll probably do about 25 to 30, 40 feet, something like that, on the shore, on the shoreline. Just treat about, 5 feet out, 10 feet out. Just do 20, 30 feet at a time and work my way around about a week apart, or at least 4 or 5 days apart. This is what we had. You can see my shadow, just how big this is. And this is a big heavy mass of it here that I've already raked from over there and pulled it over this way. The leaf rake works the best so far. I just got cheap ones. Went up and bought 2 more today. I started to use one, an older one, and the handle broke off immediately, so I'm not going to spend a lot of money on them because they'll break too. This stuff is heavy. Probably got 20 pounds worth right here in my hand. Of course, it's full of water. There's a big pile of it over there I drug out a while ago. I just got a whole bunch of unfinished stuff going on here that I started years ago. I built that building on the other side there probably 10 or 11 years ago. And it's just I thought it was just going to be a little recreational area, outdoor kitchen, kitchenette type of thing. And my church has come over here and we've done some barbecues, and when the pond was in better shape than it is now, we did some baptizing in here. There's fish in there. We catch fish, and sometimes we go down to the Kaskaskia River and catch fish, and the ones that seem to be the right ones to throw back in here loose, we do. Otherwise, they wind up in the freezer. Oh well, so much for cleaning algae out of the pond. I'm going to treat this front side right here. I'm going to show, this is the stuff I've been using. This made by, what is it, AB, I think, brand. Can't see the brand name on it, just the letters AB. Anyway, this one, I'm hoping I'm getting it in there because I can't really see the display screen, but it's 99% copper sulfate. If you look at some of these, they might say 5% or 15%. They don't do anything. They have copper sulfate in them, but they're bogus. This one has it in there, and it will kill the fish if you put too much in it. This is water soluble for the most part, doesn't completely dissolve. I don't have very much in there, only about so much in the bottom here, but I'll have to go get some more. I got enough for today. I'm going to throw these crystals. They're bright blue crystals. They'll mix in water, and you put them in a sprayer for spot spraying on little stuff on top. But when you got a situation like I got, that's not enough. We're just going to sow this stuff out there like so along the edge. And somebody that's an expert on this might see what I'm doing here and tell me I'm doing all kinds of stuff wrong. And I appreciate any advice. This stuff does work. It does kill the algae. But if you over-treat it, it'll kill the fish. A lot of algicides that don't work. They're not algicides, they're just lies. That's all I'm going to throw out there. It might be getting close to a fourth of the pond. I probably shouldn't put that much out, but I got such a bad mess here. There's not a whole lot of fish. We got a lot of them out last year, so I don't think there's going to be a problem. But in a week or so, I'll go treat the other side, and I may spot treat this side a little bit more next week. We'll see. This little pond here, it was just last night and this morning I worked on setting up the pond filters and getting them going, the water circulating. There's always something wrong. One of my ultraviolet lights isn't working. I had some hoses break. There's just things you got to do getting started.